Mayor and Commission, this will serve as our work session on this meeting for November the 25th, 2019. And we're going to have our invocation by the pastor of Grace Point, Pastor Watts. How you doing, sir?
Good.
Good. Yes, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak just for a moment. Just to encourage you that at Grace Point Church, you may not know who we are, but if you see 4 coffee signs, that's us. And so we think it's important that that you're for people, because we live in a world where everybody's against. That's what people are known for. And so we want our church, but not only our church, but our community, to be known for what we're for, not what we're against. And so if we're for each other, we'll have a great community. And so we spend too much time trying to focus on the things that we're against. So if we can encourage that in the community, we want to do that. Also, that we're for our leadership in our community. And I know, because I'm a leader and in our church and pastor of the church, leadership's hard. And you need encouragement as well. And so I know that God's put you in those places, and we're thankful for that. And it's also a huge, huge accountability before God, just as I have as a pastor. And so it would be well for us not just to pray for you now, but also to pray for you every day, because it's a hard job. And so, but God's put you in that place to empower you to do it, and we're thankful for you. So let me pray for the meeting and for you guys, and that God's blessing would be on us. But Father, just thank you so much for the opportunity to be here tonight. We thank you that you put people in place in government and in churches and businesses that help to make communities great. And Father, we all are here gathered in one place with one idea, that we want a great community. And there are things that need to be better. There are things that need to be worked on. And so we can do that best when we come together and we're for each other, not just for ourselves. And as Jesus has proved to us, as he died for us on the cross, that you loved us and you gave yourself for us, that you came and died for us. As we move into the Christmas season, we know that's why you came. And so, Father, let our hearts be in that same way, that we would be focused on the things that we're for and not the things that we're against. I pray for the leadership here, that you would give them wisdom, and that you would allow them to use the positions that they have to serve this community better. And so, Father, we pray that we would honor them in every way. And it's in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would, please stand, and I will lead us in that, and we'll get started. All hearts and minds clear. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you would, please be seated. Next on the agenda, we have the approval of the order of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
It's been motion and second. Any further discussion? Motion carries. Next on the agenda, we have the second reading and adoption of the Clean Indoor Air Ordinance, and that will be our city attorney. He's going to read over that for us.
Here's the whole. What was our meeting? 14th.
Huh?
November 14th. Here.
Good evening.
Good evening. How's everybody?
Doing well.
Good evening.
Well,
You know, in the work session, they were talking about using the gym over here for those boxing matches for those kids. I'm gonna check and see if they have a senior division, because I'm gonna sign up Charlie for it, and I'm gonna be in his corner, and he can be Rocky.
Okay.
I thought it'd be the other way around, but anyway.
All right, this will be an ordinance of the City of Douglas, Georgia Code of Ordinance to amend the City of Douglas Code of Ordinances, Chapter 30, Civil Emergency. This is not the clean air.
Clean air.
My Lord. You so crazy.
Which one is
Just the clean air one we finna do.
All right, I can win. This will be an ordinance of the City of Douglas, Georgia Code of Ordinances to amend the City of Douglas Clean Indoor Air Act, Section 50 through 51, and for other purposes. This is a very lengthy ordinance, so I'll go ahead and read the end of it. Often read for the first time at a regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Commissioners of the City of Douglas on November the 14th, 2019, read for the second time and passed ordained at a regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Commissioners on December 9th, 2019, and this is ready for action.
All right, got no public-
November.
Y'all ready?
Public hearing?
No.
No public
Not on
hearing? All
this.
right, good deal. So at this time, I entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
It's been motion and second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
You didn't ask for discussion, Mr. Mayor. I was gonna try to find out in discussion if Mr. Goddard was able to find the answer to my question last meeting about whether or not those vapors, whatever you call those things, vaping, will it give off secondhand smoke as regular smoking does?
Yes, it does. It's not smoke, but it's vapor and it has nicotine in it, which is an addictive substance.
Okay, y'all had the vote, so I'm gonna abstain because I really don't have enough information on it.
Okay. Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the items placed on the consent agenda. And as always, we'll turn that over to our city manager to list the items that were on the consent agenda. Mr. City Manager?
Mayor, we have 5 items coming over on the consent agenda. I will read them off to you. The first one is item 1, approval of November 14th, 2019 minutes. Item 4, the approval of the purchase of 1 new long name fire truck. Item 5, approval of the memorandum of agreement with the Georgia Department of Community Affairs Plan First program. Item 7, approval of the library board appointment. And item 8, approval of the resolution to support and submit a joint pre-application for a CDBG innovative grant. Those are the 5 items on the consent.
At this time, I entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
It's been motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is work session items brought forward for discussion.
We have 3 items coming over individually from the work session. The first item will be item 2 from the work session to announce a Recreation Commission vacancy. It'll be Willis Crockett, Parks and Recreation.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
As of 12/31 of this year, we will have 3 vacancies coming open, available on the Recreation Commission. We're asking your permission and approval to move forward with the advertising of those vacancies.
Entertain a motion.
So
No,
moved.
No, you gotta advertise.
Right.
Yes,
Right,
move
just
forward
advertise.
with
Just, yeah.
advertising.
Yeah,
Yes,
just-
yeah, you can, we're good on
Just
that.
advertise.
Thank you.
That does work.
Thank you.
Good deal.
Like the Dallas Cowboys
Next item be item 6, to allow for the first reading of discussing amending the Civil Emergency Management Ordinance, Chapter 30, Article 2.
Mr. Adams, good evening again.
Good evening again. This will be the first reading, no action required tonight. This will be an ordinance of the City of Douglas, Georgia Code of Ordinances to amend the City of Douglas Code of Ordinances, Chapter 30, Civil Emergencies, Article 2, Emergency Management, Section 30 through 26 through 30 through 30, to provide for an effective date and for other purposes, be it ordained by the Mayor and Board of Commissioners of the City of Douglas in a regular meeting assembled pursuant to the lawful authority thereof. Civil Emergencies of the City of Douglas, Georgia is amended and stands amended as follows by deleting Chapter 30, Article 2, Section 30 through 26, and then 30-31 and replacing it in its entirety. Often read for the first time at a regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Commissioners of the City of Douglas, Georgia on November 25th, 2019, and you'll have take action on this in the second reading on December 9th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Charlie?
Next item, last item is item 9, conduct a tax allocation district public hearing. It'll be Jerome Adams, and we also have representatives here from the developers.
Charlie? The library, what was the issue on the library? We're just gonna advertise that?
Right, yes, sir.
Okay, good deal.
You need this.
All right. At this time, I'll call to order a public hearing that is required by OCGA 36-44-7B, which is a public hearing regarding the adoption of the proposed City of Douglas Tax Allocation District Number 1, Douglas Square, the redevelopment plan with respect to the redevelopment area described in the redevelopment plan. The redevelopment area consists of 4 tax parcels containing 27 acres of land located out on 441 South. A copy of the plan is here at City Hall as well as on the city's website. And if you're here tonight and wish to make a comment on this tax allocation district, please step to the podium, state your name and whatever comment you may have. That's what I thought. There are no comments, Mayor.
Yes.
I'll conclude the public hearing. Oh, he does?
I have one more question. On the tax allocation district.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
That's just the tax allocation district. Okay. So,
I conclude the public hearing.
good deal. No action, correct?
No.
Public hearing, check that off. People who will step closer to that Chick-fil-A.
It just, I mean, as in your agenda packet, also too, on prior emails, there's a bunch of timelines we gotta hit, and so obviously, just, you know, check your dates. There will be, at the next commission meeting, the approval of this redevelopment plan. Between now and then, there's probably gonna be some modifications as we discuss things with the school board and with the county. And so we're trying to meet the December 31st deadlines of all the stuff so we can turn it over to the state. So, we'll be having those discussions many times throughout the month of December.
Good deal.
I saw the items from the work session.
Charlie, don't be late.
Yes, sir.
The next on the agenda is staff comments.
You're skipping concerns from Commissioner Pearson.
No, there was a revised year after this.
Okay.
Okay. Staff comments. There are no staff comments. The next item is concerns from Commissioner Pearson.
Thank you, but before we go into my concerns, Mr. City Manager, I think we left off something from the agenda from previous meeting. Last meeting, we were supposed to have people to send their names in if they were interested in serving on the utilities.
It's being advertised.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to be advertised for 2 weeks.
Right. So we're in our first week of advertisement, so it'll go through this week for the second week, and so then at the next commission meeting.
So that's gonna be more than 2 weeks.
Well, we had the commission meeting on that Thursday night, so we missed a week because because they go to print on Mondays. So then this week is the first week that it's advertised, and then next week, because we met last Thursday, so it went into print this
Still,
week.
so it's actually gonna be more than 2 weeks.
Right, yes, ma'am.
Okay. But I think somebody came forward to put their name in, or you don't know?
I haven't seen anybody yet.
Okay, do you know, Ms. Wynetta?
It's about 2 or 3 people.
2 or 3 who have? Okay, all right. Okay, that's all I have concerning that, so I will address my concerns.
3 minutes.
No, sir.
Yeah.
And I wanted to come from my seat so that when I speak to people, I like to look at them. And I'm mainly addressing my colleagues. So let me first and foremost say good evening to all of you, but to all of you as well.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I bring you all greetings in the name of our Father and our Creator, the Most High God. It is my sincere prayer that you all are well. I stand before each of you tonight because there are many things going on within our community, and actually these things have weighed heavily upon my heart. There are some things which have gone on here in the city of Douglas which have been very damning to our citizens. some people might expect me to say our employees, but a lot of our employees are our citizens. So I'm gonna say our citizens because we have an obligation to the citizens of Douglas, Georgia, because we took an oath. I am before you because I know that it is true, to whom much is given, much is required. As the longest sitting elected official on this council, and I say longest sitting because I've been there without an interruption, and Commissioner Moore has had an interruption. So as the longest sitting elected official on this council, let me say that I step up to the plate to lead by example. Quite frankly, I am really just tired of all the mess that has gone on by our administration. Quite honestly, quite frankly. In the past, I realized that I have expressed myself in ways that I have offended some people, and for that, for offending the individuals that I have, I say to you, please forgive me. It has not been my intention to offend anyone. I am mature enough and I possess the integrity to say to those of you, when you were offended, again, please accept my apologies. Nonetheless, let me be clear. I make no apologies for taking a stand against injustices which I believe have taken place by our administration. I stand firm, and I will always stand firm to fight for justice. That's my city phone ring, and I apologize for it. Moving forward, which is what we must do for progress' sake. I've had numerous people to approach me, say to me, we must do something differently. For the sake of our community, we must do something differently. And I agree with them. I'm reminded of a conversation held between myself, a couple of pastors, and a few others, saying, how do we move forward? How do we move forward? Being that I have been the longest sitting elected official on this council, I would take 80% of the blame, if you all want to so put it. I would take 80% of the blame. So therefore, I'm stepping up tonight to say I'm willing to find a solution to the madness that has gone on, because madness has gone on, personal agendas or what have you, conspiracies or what have you, emails being sent or what have you, and the next day or two, the media requesting it because they were privy to information about those emails. But we're putting all of that behind us because, see, one thing about moving forward, we got to be willing to forgive. And I know that those emails that went out, some of them were targeted at me. And I say today, and I will forever say, they were lies. And that's probably why they have not surfaced any further. They were lies. But nonetheless, it's okay, because in this line of work, when you stand for what's right, you're going to be lied on sometime. I'm willing to deal with that. I'm willing to be lied on. I'm willing to be talked about. I'm willing to be ridiculed. Because if it's for what's right, if it's for justice, I'll be the sacrifice. I will be the sacrifice, as long as nobody else gets treated as they are not a human being, like some people have been treated. I'm not calling names. I'm not doing any of that. I just want to put stuff behind us and move forward. In all sincerity, how do we move forward? Mr. Mayor asked me that question 2 or 3 days after the election. And I gave him an answer, and I stand by my answer. But I'm going to put it in another way. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioner Durham, Commissioner Taylor, Commissioner McNeil, Commissioner Moore, Commissioner Pearson. It's time for us to step up to the plate and represent the citizens of Douglas like they deserve to be represented. Stop the hidden agendas. Stop the personal cliques. It's time out for it. It's time to be about the people's business here in Douglas if we want to move forward. Because I tell you, if we don't, then we will be known as the administration that doomed the city of Douglas and didn't let it grow like it can grow. I'm talking to you all heart to heart tonight. When we leave here tonight, I'm telling you all that has gone on with all, however I feel like I might have been treated as fellow colleagues, that's behind me. I want us to move forward. And in order to do that, I believe, we must be hitters. Hitters and not haters. H-I-T-T-R-S, not H-A-T-E-R-S. In being a hitter, we must be honest. We must demonstrate integrity. We must always tell the truth, not lies. We must demonstrate respect and be selfless. Not about ourselves, but for the common good of our citizens. Therefore, my fellow colleagues, will we move forward for our citizens? Because it is the right thing to do. Or will we backbite, lie, conspire, or what have you? Because that's easier to do. And sometimes it's more popular. You decide. You decide. And it's not about what we say, it's about what we do. What we do from here on out. Lastly, as I take my seat, I want to say to my constituents, my diehard constituents who have stood by me through a bogus trial where I was lied upon about helping someone to vote. People thought it was an absentee ballot. It was not. But my constituents, those people who have supported me, I want to let everybody know this is not about me, y'all. I'm telling you, people want me out of office. It's not about me. In 1995, when citizens knocked on my door, when I was not even elected, we need help in Douglas. I came down here to a city council meeting in 1995. Commissioner Harrell was the commissioner in the seat I serve in. And I spoke for those people, over 50, 60 people, who felt that they were not being given a fair chance by our City of Douglas Police Department. You see, it's not about me because I did not want to run for office then, not at that point. Political science major, but did not plan to go into government right then. I actually planned to go on to law school. But when the people came to me saying what was happening, and when I came back from college with a BA degree in political science and get told that I could not get hired here in the city of Douglas because this is not a political process, I said, okay, I got a 4-year degree. If I'm not getting an interview, didn't get an interview for years till I changed my name and got married. And then I'd be told in that meeting, in that interview, oh, I did not know this was you. Because my name was no longer Coley, it was Pearson. Being qualified all the time for interviews, but didn't get them. So that's why I decided to run for office, because I wanted things to change. I wanted people who were being turned down for having an opportunity to be given an opportunity. So that's why I ran. And that's why I believe in my heart, God appointed me to that position and allowed me to win, because the trial was a motive to get me out of the seat. It was conspired upon with this last election to get me out of the seat. But I'll say to you all this. When God gets ready for me to no longer sit there and represent his people who are oppressed and downtrodden and treated unfairly, he will move me. So all your little tactics and antics that some people do, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking about my colleagues. I'm talking about the outside source. All of those antics, those plots, those conspiracies, they will not work. But I say to you, my fellow colleagues, let's get it together because none of us know when we're going to lay down and close our eyes for the last time. And I want to have a clear conscience that God is satisfied, that I didn't mistreat anybody, that I did what I could to help everybody. So I say that to you, my colleagues. What will you all decide? How will we move forward? It's on y'all. From this day on with me, it's about showing an example, loving, forgiving, as hard as it has been for me to forgive somebody who wanted to incarcerate me for 5 years for a crime I did not commit. As hard as that has been, I've been able to do that. And I've been able to do it because of the fact, greater is he who is in me than he who is in the world. And we've got to all get to that point. I didn't mean to get this passionate about what I'm saying, but this is real where we are. I can't stress it enough. People's lives are in our hands. Thank y'all.
Thank you. At this point, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
So a motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll take about 2 minutes to clear out the city hall, and we'll go into executive session.
George, you got that? You got all set to sign?